In 3, 2, 1. Again? Yes, rock beats scissors. Oh, hey friend. I lost all confidence in my adult decisions this week for the drawing of this week's episode, and it reduced me to the state of a child. So I used that childlike energy, and by the Friday of this week, I achieved more with better results than before. Find out how you can be more confident when you tap into the child within you. Yes, even after 40. Again? Okay, one more time, but I'm tired of losing. 1, 2, 3. Well, what do you know? I had a major revelation this week tapping into my childlike spirit from doing this week's illustration. I decided to do a child seeking confidence by riding on the back of a dragon. I wanted to convey the playfulness, yet importance of being childlike. Remember when we had that same playful curiosity and need to explore, only to then be told, I said no. Will you get down from there? Yeah, well, how did you get up there in the first place? Yeah, it seems that we were more adventurous and more creative when we were young, only to then be guided to grow up and grow into being frightened of everything. I wanted to call this piece Mollie and Her Dragon Takes Flight. It's a story of a girl who learns confidence by flying her dragon. It started off as an easy enough idea, but this piece tested my being an adult about everything while remembering to still be childlike. I was drawing and thinking, why isn't this illustration turning out like it is in my head? I was trying to be confident that I could tell this story, and then I realized the problem. I was trying too hard. I was going back and forth with this idea, and I still couldn't illustrate it the way I wanted to. What also didn't make sense was my need to show how simply the word confidence means having faith in anything that you're doing. This drawing was getting the better of me. Was this the second stage of the same thing I experienced last week? Frustration Mark 2? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you found confidence by removing your adult decisions in favor of being childlike and got better results? Let me show you what happened when I did that. Today I'm drawing a character that reminds us to acknowledge the child within us, because there's something very special that we can learn and reintroduce ourselves to the confidence and innocence we had when we were young. Let's draw Mollie and her dragon flying through the air in the early hours of the morning as a reminder of a new day ahead full of magic, wonder, strength, and imagination. We just need to let that imagination loose. What do you think, monkey? Get on with it. Okay, wow. Some people. Remember in last week's episode where I talked about nearly abandoning the picture entirely because I was frustrated? Well, guess what? Yeah, this week's illustration did the same thing. You know what? I'm starting to notice a pattern here, a repeated motive, and I have a theory. Being creative isn't without its need to have moments of self-doubt or have sketches of imposter syndrome or times of despair. It's part of the creative contract. I don't know why I thought that I should have all the confidence in the world to be able to illustrate my message through every picture. The truth is that being a creative means that you have to accept the challenge that being an artist presents. And that starts with one important question. Are you willing to go through the darkness for your art? Now, when I say the darkness, I mean, do you have what it takes to be an artist? The muse doesn't always show up with a glowing light, with a golden tray of answers. Oh, no. It's part of the depths of you being chosen. I discovered that great art or creative freedom is riddled with moments of looking inside yourself just to see if you can translate the message that your craft wants you to convey. Did you hear when I mentioned that you are chosen? Because you are, you know. It's a gift that you're an artist, a creative, but the dark night of the soul means that you will feel disorientated before creative deliverance. But wait a minute, Rico, I hear you say. This sounds like a test. And you'd be right. For me at least, I don't see being able to illustrate characters or being creative as a thing to accomplish. It's more of a calling, because I have to. That's why it gets easier to understand that being over 40 isn't the issue at all, but how you must never return to the old you once you realize that this is your life's purpose. You just need a structure to keep doing this so that you never fall backwards. Self-remembering is just that. Remembering that you were this creative force long before you came to this realm. I couldn't imagine doing anything else other than being able to create and be in this way, and even though it's an emotional experience, I could do without the slap in the face now and again. Anyway, this picture had me at the point where I wanted to change the face of the dragon because it wasn't sitting right and something was way off. At that point, I couldn't imagine this picture as completed, as it just didn't feel right. I mean, ask any artist doing anything creative. When do you know when your project is done? And you will hear them quietly mutter. You have to accept and learn how to step away. Oh my goodness, what is going on here? Just when I thought I had a handle on this week's illustration, it throws me a curveball. But isn't that indicative of life? Life is the same way. You never really complete or end anything, because if you did, there'd be nothing left to learn. I look at this picture, like last week's episode, as going through a cycle of whatever process takes place, but letting my guard down and expectation so that I could become fearless. Just like our character, not being reckless, but rejecting the fear. Damn, I'm in my mid-50s, man, and I'm just learning this? As I mentioned, I didn't choose this life. I realized that after being 40 years old, I'm done feeling lack of significance. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I especially didn't want to bounce from job to job just trying to make money for the sake of it. I really wanted to feel a sense of purpose, you know? Now, I definitely feel that with each picture that I do, and this week's episode is the start of feeling uncomfortable based on always staying hungry for this feeling. I'll tell you this, being confident as a creative over 40 doesn't mean you have to have all the right pieces. It doesn't even mean you have to have it all figured out. The key to confidence over 40 isn't about being perfect. Practice makes perfect? What? We know that it doesn't. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes persistence. And if you keep doing the same things over and over and over again and still getting the same crap results, then you need to stop practicing. If you cook a meal, but you don't like the way it turns out, and then the next time you add the same ingredients again and cook it the same way, you won't get the results you're looking for, otherwise known as taste. Get a taste for patience, not perfection. That's why practice isn't the answer anymore. It never was. The key to understanding and overstanding this is your approach. How you step up to bat. How you decide to be done with being fearless over 40. That's the answer. See the results already achieved before you attempt to do anything, and you'll do much better than you expected. That's what this week's character showed me. Stop overthinking, bless this mess, and trust the process. Okay, I think our character is done. Mollie and her dragon, and how to be confident with creativity. Look at her confidence on the back of her friendly dragon with childlike fearlessness and wonder. And if you wonder how to achieve creative freedom and be fearless and be confident over 40, then consider subscribing so you don't miss out on the very next video, just like this one. I hope you've come to realize that we should unlearn all that we have learned, especially when it comes to being afraid. And if you want to have more confidence to overcome your creative struggles, then let's turn this inspiration into a conversation so you can have more time to align with a life that you designed. The link is in the description below. But before you go, can I suggest you watch this video next? It's called The Lesson of Creativity with All the Magic from Within, so you can continue being fearless over 40. See you in the next one.